Greetings, Matthew Sweigart here from Heart Mind Healing Arts, bringing you Heart Mind Qigong, another episode. Today's topic is the microcosmic orbit. Now, a preferred translation of that meditation is the small heavenly circle. This is a meditation, ancient Taoist practice. It's been in circulation for thousands of years, and it has to do with connecting your midline vessels. And the midline is a very interesting part of our anatomical physical structure, as well as our energetic and psychospiritual structure. Where is the center? It's kind of like the 50-yard line of your body. You know, in like getting tickets to a football game, you want tickets on the 50-yard line because then you can see the whole field evenly. It's interesting. I've got this side light that's strong on me today, so you can see the midline is very much accentuated with lighting right now in this particular video. And why the midline is important is because, you know, many of us are not inserted in spatial physical reality. We're just not present to the awareness of the right side, the left side, the front and the back, the top and the bottom, and the inside and the outside. This is when you can become spatially inserted and aware, you will become more present to the present moment in time as well as space and what's going on in your body right now. This is crucial because your cells carry electromagnetic energy, like a bioelectric energy on the cells. And like when you're going into something like a wound or cancer, the electromagnetic signature gets all erratic, and we want to smooth that out. It's like every cell in your body is like a little battery. And you know, if you put the batteries in your flashlight upside down, your flashlight won't light. So we want the batteries inserted correctly, and correctly inserting ourselves in time and space is an essential aspect of that. And we get to do that with this ancient meditation called the microcosmic orbit, or the small heavenly circle meditation. Now, I've written up a handout for this so that you don't have to remember everything I teach you in this video. And if you want to even get more in depth, you can subscribe to my service, and I will get a copy of this handout into your hands. Handouts are great, aren't they? So the first thing to note is that there is a central vessel that rises up and down the body. Now, in Indian medicine, in Ayurveda, they call this the Sushumna. In Chinese medicine, it's called the Chongmai. Chong means to move something heavy. Mai is a vessel. So it's the vessel of moving that which is heavy. The central vessel goes right up and down the midline of the body. You might even feel it tracking along the front of your spine, right? Not the back of your spine. We're all very aware of the back of our spine. At least we're somewhat aware of the back of our spine. You can't see it. No matter how hard you turn your head, you won't be able to look at your own back. You have to look in a mirror or have a friend look, or use your internal eye to feel internally what it feels like. But we think of the spine, we think of the back of the spine, and I'm inviting you to consider the front of your spine when considering the Chongmai, right? So it's not just a straight line. You know, there's no straight lines in nature. It's more of a curve, right? And it kind of goes along with that curvature of the spine, right? And there's a natural curvature of the spine, and then there's that more pathological curvature of the spine we've known as scoliosis, right? When the spine gets off kilter. And we want to bring our spine as much as possible back into alignment. I myself, I think I was diagnosed with a 3% scoliosis. I've worked with clients where it's as much as 15%, 15 degrees off center. So they're like really, you know, but that's just nature. That's the way nature shows itself. There's no straight lines in nature. So don't get all wigged out about the idea of a curved spine. In fact, you want a curved spine. And ultimately scoliosis can be problematic, and painful for people. So you do want to work with it. You want to play with it. And this midline vessel insertion in space is a really key tool for helping you be here now. Know your right side from your left side. Know your front from your back. Know your top from your bottom. Know the inside from the outside. See how they correlate. You wouldn't have one without the other. They're not separate, right? You wouldn't have a right side if you didn't have a left. You wouldn't have a front if you didn't have a back. We like to say in yin-yang theory, the bigger the front, the bigger the back. Where there's a front, there's a back. The bigger the front, the bigger the back. So besides the Chongmai vessel, which is the central vessel right down the midline, there's a front midline and a back midline. And these two vessels are called the Renmai and the Dumai. Dumai is the vessel of yang energy that flows up the back body. Renmai is the vessel of yin energy that flows up the front body. And in the meditation, what we do, you see at the mouth, the Ren channel comes up and ends in the bottom teeth. The Du channel comes up and ends in the top teeth. And if you go around with your mouth open, like my big sister used to say, you're catching flies, little brother, you're catching flies. You're not connecting these two vessels. So we're going to take the tip of the tongue and touch it onto that top palate behind the top teeth. Up there. And that connects the governing vessel, the Sea of Yang, Dumai, with the conception vessel, Sea of Yin, Renmai, by way of the tongue. So you touch your tongue gently to the top palate. You sit upright. I like to shift my weight from one sit bone to the other, just to check in. Oh, there's my right sit bone. There's my left sit bone. And it may be opposite for you. This is a camera probably is reversed, but that's okay. Right side, left side. You know which side of yours is your right side and which side is your left. And then settle both sit bones nice and evenly on the chair. And you'll probably notice that one of your sit bones kind of more naturally rests down into the chair while the other one lifts up slightly. Just notice it. Don't make any judgments about it. We're going to meditate on this midline vessel, and we're going to start by bringing the attention to the midline point between the eyebrows, known as yin tang or niwan, right in between the eyebrows, right on that little wrinkle crease that can show up right here in the forehead. Then we're going to bring that energy down the bridge of the nose, down into the top teeth and into the tip of the tongue, then down to the root of the tongue, down to the heart center in the center of the sternum, down below that to the navel center, down through the genitals to the perineum, which is the midpoint between the genitals and the anus, right at the root. Then take that energy awareness back through the anus to the tailbone, and now rise up the midline of the back body, coming on the back of the spine, up through the sacrum, lumbar, middle back, upper back, right up here to the big vertebra at the top of the back. That's called the great hammer. Up the neck to the base of the skull, up the skull to the crown of the head point. This is called byway, the meeting point of 100 meridians, right? And then bring it back to connect it here again at yin tang. So not a very exciting video in terms of watching me dance around and move, but it's a stillness meditation and it's an internal exercise. Eyes can be barely open or completely closed, whichever is most comfortable for you. Tip of the tongue rests on the top palate, and you bring your awareness to Niwan, down the bridge of the nose, into the tongue, down into the root of the tongue, into the throat, heart center, navel center, through the genitals to the perineum, back through the anus to the tailbone, up the back body, sacrum, lower back, middle back, upper back, into the cervical spine, into the neck, base of the skull, to the crown of the head, byway, and back to the point between your eyebrows, knee one. That is the complete meditation. Now, once you've got it moving through this orbit a couple of times, just continue to circulate that energy. And you can hold this circulation, awareness of this circulating energy for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And do it daily. We say that self-healing begins in the small heavenly circle. Self-healing begins here. Now, as you go into my handout, I describe the action of several of the acupoints along these midline vessels. And almost all of them are devoted to the process of subduing the interior wind, quieting the interior wind. And interior wind, you could equate that to the crazy thoughts, the monkey mind, the incessant thinking that goes round and round. And we're going to quiet that with this meditation. One more layer, add in something we call the inner smile. I'll take inner smile meditation in another video. We'll go more deeply. But what I want you to do is use inner smile to guide what we'll imagine as a pearl of light, circulating this pearl of light energy, going down the midline of the front body, looping under the root, coming up the midline of the back body, looping over the top of the head, and then back down the midline of the front body, tip of the tongue connected to the top palate behind the top teeth. If your eyes are closed, you will more easily facilitate the inner smile feeling, because you want to bring a smile to your eyes and smile inward at this orbiting pearl of light. Notice were there any gaps in your awareness, and just be with them. No rush, no hurry. And this is the microcosmic orbit meditation. I hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a try. A couple of clues that will indicate whether you have opened the microcosmic orbit, whether you've really connected that circuit. First of all, copious amounts of saliva will be produced in your mouth. You'll get a very mouth-watering experience. Second, the tip of your tongue will feel like it is cleaving to the top palate. Without any extra effort or exertion on your part, the tip of the tongue just like magnetizes to that top palate, and it like gets stuck there. And the third clue is that you'll notice a deepening sense of inner peace. Your mind and your spirit will become calm. Gentle breath. The breath need not be coordinated with the movement of the pearl, down or up. Just allow the breath to move organically. I'm starting to get a little relaxed. Central vessel meditation. Connecting to you. Connecting to your original source energy, the genetic material that made you who you are. Tuck the chin slightly, lengthen the back of the neck. Tip of the tongue on the top palate. Circulate the pearl of light. along the midline. When you're ready, go ahead and just float your eyes open. Yeah, and acknowledge yourself for practicing a very ancient meditation practice, just following your breath and orbiting a pearl of light through the midline vessels of the body. Thank you very much. Matthew Sweigart, Heart Mind Healing Arts. We do Meridian Qigong online live classes 4 times a week. You can become a subscriber. Look for the link on this video and come join us. Great to see you. Leave your comments and I'll talk with you soon.